Okay, let's now sketch two cycles of this sinusoidal function, 2 times the sine of 2x minus pi over 2 plus 3. The first step is let's factor out the 2 inside of the sine function. So 2 times the sine of 2 times, I factor out 2 gives me x by itself. And if I factor out 2 from pi over 2, that gives me pi over 4 plus 3. Okay, now why is this important? Pi over 4 is going to be the horizontal shift. So that's going to be the first cycle is going to start on pi over 4. Plus 3 is going to be the vertical shift. And finally, the period, the length of the period, is going to be equal to 2 pi divided by the number 2 that we factored out here, which is equal to pi. So let's sketch this out, and let me draw some reasonably straight lines here to do this. Okay, so here's our axes. And let's also draw in, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Let's now draw in the shift lines. So the first vertical bar is going to occur at pi over 4, so that's this one. And then the next one will appear at 5 pi over 4 over this side. And then the next one on this side would be at neg pi over 4 minus pi, which takes me to 3 pi over 4. So something like this. So those are the vertical lines marking the lengths of the periods. And probably I should move this one a little bit over to the right to make the picture look good. So now they're evenly spaced. Connect that. Okay, now the vertical shift is at 3. So that'll be the first vertical bar will be at 3. And also the amplitude is given by the number up here is 2. So this number here is the amplitude. So that means when I draw the lines, I need to go down 2 and then up 2 to draw the picture. Okay, so I have this box here. This box here I'll contain one cycle, and then this box here would contain a second cycle. Okay, so let's draw the picture. And let me start marking the coordinates of the points. So the midline occurs at 3. 3 plus 2 is 5 over here. 3 minus 2 is 1. This first vertical line occurs at pi over 4. Then I add pi to get 5 pi over 4. And then I subtract pi to get negative 3 pi over 4. And then I'm going to be drawing a sine wave inside of this. The sine wave will start like this. We'll start at the midline. Let me start here. Starts at the midline for plus sign and then goes up. Then halfway through, I'm back at the midline. 3/4 of the way through, I'm down at the bottom. And then back at the midline when I'm through the cycle. Then I draw a very similar looking picture over here. 1/4 is to the top. Halfway, I'm at the midline. 3/4, I'm at the bottom. And then all the way through, I'm back at the midline. So this is not a terribly great picture, but let's mark the coordinates here. This is negative pi over 2. Back at the midline at negative pi over 4. 0 here. Pi over 2. 3 pi over 4. And then down here would be at pi. And so in red is a rough sketch using the limitations of Microsoft Paint of this sinusoidal pattern. And let me, because I'm a perfectionist, let me fix this last bump. It doesn't look very good. Probably a little bit more like this. And so that'll be an approximate graph of this sinusoidal function. The important thing is that we can read off the important properties from the function. So just saying it again, the numbers that I'm about to circle, so the pi over 4 here represents the first vertical bar. The 2 here gives me the period, 2 pi over 2 for pi. The vertical shift is going to be 3, and then the amplitude is going to be 2. So I know that it's going to bounce between 3 plus 2 and 3 minus 2, or 1 and 5.